Good morning, Y-Man. Hopefully everything's going great for you. Tyler and Becca are there on the field, and hopefully you've gotten a chance to meet them. If not, maybe you'll get to meet them today. So we just want to encourage that. And so we're going to finish up our discussion about the book of Joshua here. Hopefully you've read it and have gained a lot of great insights in it. For me, it's a very powerful book, and sometimes we don't give it enough due because it stands really as a bridge from the old life into the new life, from slavery into becoming kingdom citizens. And that's kind of the theme in my mind, at least, that God's finally establishing his kingdom with the Israelites. And so throughout this book, you're confronted by that phrase that we started with, that I will be with you. God constantly says that I will be with you. And we know it's a theme throughout the whole Bible, but we see it explicitly here in Joshua. So in the last chapter, there's some amazing things that we need to kind of pull out of it. God talks about, just kind of reminds his people where they've come from and what he's done with them. He reminds them of his presence and his promise and his deliverance and those things that he's brought them through to get them to the place where they are now, settled in the land, establishing the kingdom. He reminds them he took them out of the mud pits of slavery in Egypt and established them as a nation. He brought them through the Red Sea. He fed them manna in the wilderness. He brought them safely now as a nation across the River Jordan. And he gave them victory after victory after victory with all the people, especially over their enemies in the land. So again and again we see this theme and reminder, not only for them but for you and me, that God has brought the people out of the land. He says, I was with your father Abraham, I'm with you. I brought you out, I gave the enemy into your hand. I brought you into the land, and then he focuses on, I have given you a land, and I've delivered you. So it's real important for us to kind of remember these things as we look through the book. And so it's a reminder, the Lord gives us as a reminder for us as well. He provides us strength, and he gives us help. He gives us the ability to earn a living. He gives us our talents and our strengths, abilities. He provides us the ability to think and earn a living and make decisions. And he's brought us in really to a place that's brimming with opportunities for us. Just as he did for them, he delivers us from things like illness and injury. He even the children that he blesses us with are gifts from him as a part of this promise. I think that it's a blessing from him that he still wants to bless our lives. And so the question we have to ask is, what is our response going to be to all these things that we suddenly find ourselves with? Which was the question really Joshua was dealing with at the end of the book. What will the Israelites do now with all this that God's done for them? So the question for them, as it is for us, is what is God looking for? Is God looking for ability? I think he's looking for availability, which was always the question with the Israelites. He wants us to offer him our all, our best. Even if at the very baseline it's simply our gratitude, he wants us to recognize where these things come from. That it comes to us because he is with us. And he's blessed us now so that we can be his witnesses and his ambassadors. And those are the things that he's really looking for. You know, there are a lot of lessons that we can learn out of the book of Joshua. And we really need to take some of those to heart. Ask yourself, what is your river of impossibility? What are the formidable, intimidating Jerichos in your life? You know, ask yourself that question. What's the setback at AI that you're having to deal with that's left you feeling betrayed or lied to or defeated, and you don't know how to answer the how-to? Think about the Gibeonite situation, the Gibeonite deception. Do you have one of those in your life that's left you feeling foolish and desperate in need of God's wisdom? What are the battles that you're currently trying to face right now that you really need God's help with? What's the miracle that you need right now? What lands do you need conquered? What inheritance have you left on the table and is unclaimed? I mean, do you need to find a place of refuge? Do you have a friend that needs a place of refuge? You know, when we think about these things, those were the things God was answering for the Israelites, and they come into our very present day right now. And so just as he promised them that he would be with them and offer them strength and courage, those promises are for us as well today. the wisdom and strength and courage you need for all the challenges that you can that you need in your everyday life can be found right there in the book of Joshua. So be strong and courageous, right? That's what God told them. Don't be frightened by the future and the unknown. That's what he told them. Don't be dismayed by disappointments. That's what he told them. And those promises are for us today too. The Lord is with you wherever you go. You guys have a great day, and we'll see you next week.